today. In today money, back then money, it was like $1,000. In today money, it's like 1.5 right now.
I'm gonna show you a picture of something that I lost, and you're gonna get relief.
Okay.
You're gonna want to.
Oh, I already know what this is.
I want to see
Keep
it.
going. It's gonna take me a
Russ,
sec
what's
to
up,
find
dude?
this.
My stuff is a mess. Dude,
That's not what my first job was.
I just thought of like, the most heinous fucking thing that I could think of.
So when I was in high school,
oh no,
people would pay me money to carry them through. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Through COD Zombies Easter eggs.
Dude, what? You got paid for that shit? I was
Yeah,
way too nice in school.
Now,
Fuck you.
I have like 3,000 to 4,000 hours in Sea of Thieves, but I bet you any amount of money I have like probably double or triple that in Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah,
Between Black Ops 2 and
were we
Black
into
Ops 3
zombies growing up?
specifically. Just those two games.
You know what? Don't take this the wrong way, Barrick. I'm going to be honest. That doesn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah.
I'm like, you said that, and I was like, yeah, that figures.
You see that, Flop? Yeah, that's.
You want to hear a sad day?
Yeah.
See that iBuyPower Hollow?
Yeah.
I owned 12 of them. You know how much those go nowadays?
Like $40,000.
Try like $80,000. A sticker.
I know someone who paid their way. I know someone who
80,000?
paid their way through college and like bought a house with
Fuck that shit. I wouldn't be a cop here right now if I had 80 fucking grand times 12. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Hang on, I gotta check.
My friend, a friend of mine had, I think, 45 of them. He was a really big iBuyPower fan, and he had like 45 of them. He was stocky, and I think in like 2018 or 2019, he paid his way all of his tuition, and then he like bought a fucking house, like a down payment on a house or some shit with it.
Dude, I had a Stat Trek Howl. I had, oh my god,
You would basically be a millionaire.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I'll see you out there on number 2, Flop.
By the way, the IRS just sent me a letter in the mail. I owe more money to them. I fucking hate everything.
I'll see you on CS2, Flop.
What, Barrick?
Where do you think you're going?
What? You're going to bed.
Pull rank on him.
I said
Pull
no
rank
such
on
thing.
him.
You said, oh god, the sickness is getting worse, you high
You know what I
bastard.
think we should do? Anytime where there's a situation where like there's like a sergeant on sergeant problem or a corporal on corporal problem, we should just like, hey, equal rank, I challenge you, and then we just dice roll to see who.
Who gets to decide?
Yeah, who gets to
An equal rank challenge.
You roll.
Roll for rank. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll for rank.
Or you know what it is? A third party
what are we
has to
rolling?
choose what it is. Like, hey, whoever has the most parking citations, or like, hey, whoever's had
And
the
then there's
most
way
arrests
too
in
many
the league.
zeros.
Yeah. I think Flop won.
I think
That was
I
a
won.
million. That was out of a million.
Oh wait, are we death rolling? I thought we were death rolling.
No.
Oh.
All right, guys. Speaking of all this, I'm gonna go back. I got my drug trafficking case, so I'm gonna go ahead and go watch the Field of Stars.
Wait, you got DT
You
on
don't
who?
watch it? That's boring.
I got DT last night. Me and Peach. You're gonna love this.
Peach!
I was riding with Peach all day yesterday.
You should bring up my name to Peach. Just do it.
Okay. We if we're ever riding together, hop in. But you're always around later. She's always around earlier.
Yeah.
So we were riding around together all day, and we were like, let's do community policing at the apartments. Pull up to the apartments. There's a guy in a rumpo, letting his friend out. His friend goes into the apartment, right? So we go, we talk to him, and this guy starts talking to me about lemonade stands for some reason. He keeps asking me if I know where any lemonade stands are, and I start getting real confused. And I don't like it. So as they're driving off, I'm like, let's fucking tail these guys. They drive down to Adam's Apple from the apartment.
Show us IRL 4K.
Back in. The other guy goes in
Dude,
the apartment.
I would vomit.
And then they drive down. I'm just following them. I'm tailing them. And they're stopping. And I'm like, oh, they know we're tailing them. Anyways, long story short, they go down across Davis PD and they park the van and they start talking to some guy. And they start handing him some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? So we sit up. And I'm like, let's take pictures of them. Let's see what's going on. Let's do some surveillance. They start loading up those boxes of all too familiar marijuana with the shitty labels and the ones that, all that. We get units to come down station, all that. He loads up 7 boxes. I get pictures of him loading up 7 different boxes in his vehicle. They leave. We ended up felony stopping him with Scarlett and Maxwell and Peach and I and Lucy. And the guy has 7 boxes of weed coming back to this strain, blueberry something, whatever. We get them in interrogation. I get them to admit that they U-turned. The lawyer talks to them forever. He doesn't give consent on one guy. And then the other guy, he gives consent. So I'm like, all right, cool, get out of here. I put him on a 24-hour hold. I get the search warrant signed. And then just like an hour ago, I execute the warrant. These guys are brand new to the city. They have nothing except apartments in one rumpo between the two of them. Just apartment, rumpo.
Did you fuck their whole operation?
Yeah, so I get in there and he had dirty money, scales, female seeds, male or regular seeds, and dried bud all coming back to the same strain. That's
what's their
pretty,
names?
Cesar, Cesar, Cesar Delgado. Delgado, Cesar Delgado. The raid incident is 91630. The other incident is...
You don't even got a weapons license.
Nope. And the only thing on Caesar's profile was that he was warned 3 days ago by Bancroft about having a wet bud. But she didn't actually document it, which I was... we were bummed about because we're like, oh, fuck, like it would prove that he had this if, whatever. Proving cultivation.
You could still say that he was found with wet bud.
What I'm gonna do is just summon them to court as a witness, saying that he was found with a wet bud prior to that. You know what I mean? I think that's fine. There's no, it's not facts and evidence, but it would be testimony.
Okay.
Yeah, 91523 is the report, and I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna hit him with drug trafficking. I just want to do a minimum guilty plea, but Percy Weaver, I like to fuck with Percy Weaver because he thinks that he can fuck with me because I'm a cadet, and the whole, he's trying to sue me for like 2 times for the same thing. So he calls me and he's like, oh, I'm taking over as their, lawyers. Like, what was the reason for the probable cause or whatever? And I tried to just dodge it and pretend that I didn't know and be like, oh, like, I don't know. Cause I have a feeling he's going to want to like, Percy's going to want to take this to court. So I'm like, oh, we felony stopped them. And he's like, what was the probable cause of the search? So I'm like, oh, I don't know. You'll see in the morning. He's like, oh my God, Lucian, we're going to court. And I didn't want to have to admit to him that the initial PC was because it was reckless driving. They were recklessly driving all the way from the apartments.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Lucian, did you fracture Riley's skull?
No. Her skull was already fucked up.
Okay.
I did hit her.
Yeah, you did.
I did hit her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I talked to Kurt. I was on those painkillers. They gave me way too much of them that night, and I couldn't control myself. I told her. I warned her. She was spitting. Okay. She was okay. I'm saying with this, I know what I did was wrong. I was in the wrong state of mind. Okay.
It sounds like you're about to justify.
I'm
doing
about to.
something
I'm about to justify because I was confronting my abuser.
Let him cook.
Okay.
Okay. Right. I was on the ground in a wheelchair. She said, "Get out of here, slug." She kicked me on my wheelchair, kicked me, and spit on me. And she said, "You're just a stupid little slug." And then kept doing it. And I told her, "Stop." That I was gonna get pissed off. I said, "I'm gonna beat your ass if you keep doing it."
The pants and the shirt.
And I couldn't wait till the roof.
Shirt. The pants are like yokai shirt. You're gonna get the pants
Jesus
are like the yokai
Christ.
Pants. You're gonna get assassinated.
It was bad. I took the strike points. I said sorry. I apologized to Riley
It's okay.
too. We're
Hey,
cool.
listen.
We were cool.
I was aware of
that.
him.
I had to let it fly. I had to let it fly early. I did. I couldn't wait till
I
I
uniform, at least
couldn't
for now.
control myself. Okay, and I couldn't wait till the rooftop. I should have waited to the rooftop.
No, it's all good.
Did you make it clear to her that the strike points were worth it?
No.
I did not tell her I got struck.
You didn't? Okay.
I actually didn't. I told her I was sorry. Because I didn't mean to do it.
You got 30 points. You spend them however you want.
I don't think cadets are supposed to get struck. Okay, I've already been struck once before when Brick shot me with a nail gun, and Bass said I was asking for it, so he struck me 1 point or 5 points because Brick was shooting people with nail guns,
I
and I
remember
said,
that.
remember that I said, hey, if you're gonna shoot them, you're gonna have to go through me. And I tried to defend myself and put myself in front of them. And Brick said, say less. And he shot me with a nail gun.
Damn.
But I got struck for that because I was apparently asking for it.
Yeah, I'm not usually one to victim blame, but you did. That does sound like you were asking for it there.
I may have been asking. I don't know.
That's like what was the?
I didn't.
I gotta
like
step away. Barrick, beat me downstairs.
Stabbing victims' last words. What are you gonna do? Stab me?
I gotta move around. I'm sorry. Hey, chat. What's up? I gotta move. I gotta do shit. I gotta move around. I gotta fucking keep the ball rolling here, please. Evidence rich? Yes. Yoink. Mine now, motherfuckers. Oh, God. Fucking phone Andy about actually, like, entertaining shit, funny shit going on right now. It's okay, though. Today's been a pretty serious day overall. Flop told Toretti that he's really genuinely considering leaving. But Flop's concern is that he needs to talk to his dad and get his side, because in Flop's mind right now, he's just kind of in a weird spot with the PD. He actually really respects Toretti's stance to leave. But he also understands the circumstance regarding, like, you know, regarding how people feel, and it's demoralizing for Flop. So for him to step away would be interesting, but we are seeking the answers, and I feel like the final one, I kind of have an idea as to where the character would go with this. But I think the conversation with Dark would be the most important. Hello.
Hello, brother. How are you?
I'm doing,
Same, honestly.
Yeah. Skip.
Yeah. I get you. I've actually been laying on the couch for the last 6 days, so I get you. My soul is tired. I get you. So, You got time for your sister?
Sure. In person?
Sure.
Or over the phone?
In person.
Where are you at?
I'm at Hayes currently getting my car fixed.
Okay.
Do you want to meet me at my house?
Yes, maybe. Hold on. Remington,
You don't remember where it's at?
You need something? I'm sorry. Hello.
No, you're fine.
I'm just watching you phone guy like a.
Oh yeah, I'm phone
crazy
guying
right
really bad right now, Remington. It's real bad phone guy right now.
If she needs you, you can talk to her and call me back.
No, you're fine, Ada. My last phone call was 24 minutes and 50 seconds long before I hung up. That was today.
Jesus.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
So has it been like
Well, enjoy your
nonstop
phone
people
guy. I was
wanting to
just
talk
watching
to
your
you since
ADD
you woke
hopping
up,
around.
kind of thing?
All good, Remington.
Uh-huh.
What was that last question, Ada? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Do your thing there. I can wait.
No. You're good. What was the last question that you
Okay.
asked?
I was just saying, has it just been nonstop since you woke up?
Forget woke up nonstop, right? For me, a lot of it is like it has been nonstop the last like 3 weeks, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The last week or so has been the most demoralizing time I have ever had in the PD.
Yeah, I get you. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate you coming down.
Legitimately, no
You
bullshit.
take care of yourself, dear.
I had a conversation with someone today and said I honestly would be happy leaving the PD.
Oh.
But I'm not going to leave on my own volition, because the issue is that based on the situation that transpired with the Senate, me leaving would do nothing. And I truly believe that if every officer took a stance on the Senate and walked out, the Senate would just replace 30 of us with people that have been waiting to become officers and just throw them in the pool because they're new and compliant. So
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
see leaving as a valid. I don't necessarily agree with people leaving the PD, but I respect their opinions and their reasonings for it. I also don't think
Right.
everyone leaving is going to resolve anything. So
I agree. I agree 100%. And it makes me happy to hear that you are of the same mind because, I mean, just like you said, if all of the good people leave, then where does that leave us?
the only people that are defined as good in this right now are people with experience, people who can actually comment on how the change has affected the PD over a long period of time.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I looking at? Hold on.
I don't know. At this point, everything is just terrible. I'll come to MRPD. Are you still there?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're okay. What's wrong?
Just saw some of the most random shit I've seen in a minute, but it's all good. Yeah, you could pick me up. Actually, you know what?
Okay.
Maybe on the parking garage. The one that's next to the PD.
Okay.
You want to do
Can
that?
do. Yeah.
Okay. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right. I'll be there in just a second.
Yep. Meet you there. Bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh my god, dude. Today is a fucking fever dream and a half. Holy crap. Yeah, if you guys were looking for some lore roleplay, today's your fucking VOD to go back and rewatch. Howdy.
Hi. Oh boy. Okay. Well, sorry. Yeah. Everything's terrible. But
Nothing.
hey, at least Richard's out of the ICU, so that's good.
No one even informed me he was in the fucking ICU. That's what bothers me.
Well, okay. So
To be fair, I'm not talking like you've done your part just fine. I'm talking no
I
doctors,
know.
no one. So it just
The thing is that if you had seen it flop, that night was so chaotic. It got to a point where I was literally surrounded by people clinging to life all around me. And I wanted to run to every single one of them. And I froze because I didn't want to choose one person over another. And I just sat down in the middle of the floor and I just started crying. Tessa just sat next to me and I was hyperventilating. It was just, the doctors were overwhelmed. A lot of people didn't get, a lot of paperwork wasn't processed properly. A lot of people weren't checked in. Notifications were not made. I mean, I did my best, but I was barely holding it together. The only saving grace was the fact that Barrick was okay. You know, and even then, he still passed out because apparently he had shrapnel in his leg and it nicked an artery. So that's why he was in the wheelchair for a while. But yeah, I did know his condition and I should have told you, and I'm sorry. It was just so much all at once. And then after that, coming home and then waking up and not being able to go on an EMS shift because
the whole city was after you.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
BBMC wanted my fingers. You know, it's like, I mean,
To be honest with you, that whole day was not great. But what bothers me more is the fact that I texted him 9 days ago, hoping he stays safe, and I was hoping for at least some kind of response. 9 days. Have yet to see him or get a response. So I'm glad he's out of the ICU. I don't know his condition. I don't know what's going on with him.
He's okay. That's what the major wound. He had a really bad wound to his abdomen, and he was in the water for a very long time after he got shut down. Shot down, I'm sorry. And so he bled out quite a bit. And that's why he was in there for 5, almost 6 days, I think.
Sure.
And then he woke up the same day that Connor woke up. And he immediately went to work to try and start fixing all of this. And
There's nothing
honestly,
to fix here. This is a bad place to be right now.
No, honey, there's so much that needs to be fixed, and you can't give up. I know it seems impossible, and I know that it's a fucking mess. But people have to keep trying, because when people give up and just accept it for what it is, we've all lost.
Oh, I haven't given up, but I am tired. I'm pissed. I'm tired. I'm over it.
I get that.
For the person that didn't go to the war and still doesn't necessarily understand the war to its full capacity, and being squeezed like a pimple from the PD side and the civilian side about events that transpired, being asked what happened that day and my side of it, and not having any understanding about the context to it other than a fucking rumor from everybody, and being able to say that no official stance has come from high command yet, boy, let me tell you, what a piece of shit I feel, because then I take the blame for it. So it's...
But it's not your fault, sweetheart.
It's not my fault, but I already struggle to keep people around in shift 3, and I try and be that little morale boost that I think shift 3 needs. And when I have officers and deputies and people pulling me into the captain's office to tell me that they're not proud to wear the badge right now and don't even want to come on duty, that is a really defeating feeling.
Give me a second. Hi, Patty. Okay. Yes, I was getting my car fixed. No, nothing at all. There were some people outside. They were talking. They got in the car, drove off. My mechanic showed up just as they were leaving. They talked, and that was it. Yeah, nothing. All right, bye-bye. Okay. Sorry, that was Patty.
Aurora, it's pretty fucking close. I'm like weighing out the options.
I hear you. I hear you. The thing that people they demand answers, but what they don't understand is that the majority of high command, or at least half of them, were in the ICU for almost a week. I mean, Flop, Connor died in front of me 3 times. His heart literally stopped 3 times. I mean, the injuries that he has sustained, people just don't understand. He's probably in an incredible amount of pain. And he's back at work trying to fix this. Same with Richard. Richard is probably still in a lot of pain. He forgets to eat. I'm constantly having to remind him to eat. But he will not give up. And both of them just in so much pain, but still doing their job. And nobody wants to give them a break. Nobody wants to understand. Even police officers who fucking know better. I want answers. Why haven't we gotten answers? Why hasn't High Command given us answers? Motherfuckers, they've been unconscious in ICU for a week. Give them a break.
Somehow I'm not surprised. Listen,
Babe,
my
leg.
My reality, my issue with things now is, unfortunately, while I understand their position, and I'm not faulting them for their position and what they did during the war, My
Right.
issue is that there hasn't even been a public statement of acknowledgement for anything that's gone on. So instead of a basic sentence that says, "We hear you, we see you," we're gonna wait for evidence and work on finalizing results. Just something to shut people up. People in regular command, sergeants,
Right.
officers,
Well, see,
civilians, even other officers pinching. No
but
one
the
is giving
problem
anyone a
is,
break. If they just came out with a simple statement that stated, "We hear you and we're looking into it," they don't even need to put a date attached to it. Nothing. Just something so that people would shut the hell up. This whole department, this whole PD will be a lot nicer of a place to put a badge on and step outside. But right
I
now,
know.
it's demoralizing for everybody. And until high command or anyone from up top is able to just at the minimum make an acknowledgement statement about it, we are not going to be moving. We're going to be in a stalemate until we actually get answers.
Well, they had their first high command meeting with all of them. Now that Connor and Richard were out of ICU, I texted Richard this morning, and he said that they were having a high command meeting today. So they've probably been sorting all of that out now that they're all together.
Oh,
You know,
I'm not doubting that they're doing stuff.
I mean, a lot of it is just like Richard spent his first 2 days literally just info gathering, getting all sides, all the information, so that way he could put together some kind of a statement to put forward. But even then, you have to wait for it to get fucking approved.
There's already been a statement of acknowledgement requested and submitted, and we haven't heard anything. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I trust this acknowledgement as far as I can throw it right now.
But that just goes, that's less high command's fault and more the commissioner's fault. Which, I mean, therein we've just circled back to the root of the fucking problem. So,
Like said, it can literally come from anyone in high command. I've stated to people that unfortunately, even from the command point, we aren't hearing any information regarding it, and for good reason. It's because it's up to high command and that whole crew to finalize things. So I don't expect to hear anything. To be honest, I didn't hear anything about the war prior. I only heard about everything in the negotiations after the fact. So I feel like putting any trust right now in there being any like considerate communication is just not going to happen at the moment, which is fine. I've come to terms with it.
I think you should talk to Tessa.
Oh, I've been there.
If
Did
hasn't
she
given
tell
you
you
anything?
everything?
There's really not much to bring up. There's not much to say.
I mean, how much have you heard? How much do you know?
I don't know how much I should really talk about, to be honest, but I've heard a pretty basic rundown.
I spoke to Bison the night he came back from the island. I spoke to Kiki, who was there. So I've gotten all of that. I mean, there isn't much that I don't know.
What do you want to know? Well,
What do I want to know?
yeah.
Why the lack of communication from the start of this whole thing has been so bad?
Because they're all bad at communication.
This
Well, I mean-
this
when it
is
came
the
down to
highest
it.
level of shitty communication I've seen
Oh,
in
yes.
3 years.
It's
This
on a
is-
catastrophic scale, and the entire PD and the entire city was made to suffer because of what ultimately boils down to 1, a massive raid, and 2, a massive dick measuring contest.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what we did on the island, was perform a massive raid where, everybody ended up going in for treason. One way or another of how you look into this, we went over there to perform a massive raid. And it was successful. Now, why the information necessary for people to understand why we were going over there was given to people, appropriately or not, which it was not at all. People were belittled, people were shit on, and people were downright demotivated from going over there.
Yeah.
That was a big part of it. Another part, the actions that happened over there once, I guess you could say the reliable people went down. Then it was
Well,
kind
that's
of
when it
left.
became a fucking shit show. Uh,
But,
so
then you gotta
Stubble
see
got
like
shot down, and then Richard, and then Angel did a push that made significant progress,
In Flop's
and
mind,
then she got taken down.
this last
And then
week
it
in
just
PD has
became
been
the
the most
Senator Davis and
demoralizing
Brian
time
Knight
he's ever
show,
had in the
guest
PD.
starring Axel, who was just there. Sorry, I was listening to the radio the whole time, so I heard everything.
Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say.
I didn't mean to cut you off, honey. I'm sorry. It's infuriating. But here's the thing is that a lot of people are jaded and are giving up because they don't feel like what they do matters. But you do matter. Your opinion matters.
How do you tell people that when one of these people made the decision to who somebody that everybody in the department knows other than them,
I know, sweetheart.
or at a command structure, in front of equivocally some of the most powerful government entities in the
Okay.
entire state of Los Santos?
Well,
You
both
can't.
of you know how I feel about Brian Knight. So you literally, I can't say anything nice about him. I can't.
And that's respectfully, that's you and everybody else.
He is
Like,
a
it's-
garbage human being who does not value human life. He
Okay, but
has
that-
no
okay.
business being a cop, nor does he have any business being in charge of anybody. He should be
Objectively.
fired. And if I had it my way, I would throw him into the prison and let the prisoners have their way.
You are speaking a volume that everybody else feels.
Because what he did to my friend, by the way, the EMS who was involved. I mean, if I hadn't been deputy mayor, that could have very well have been me.
My point of rest is that you're speaking an answer that I think everyone is feeling, and one that I have felt for a very long time. Respectfully speaking, there is a level of integrity of having to have the respect to work with him under the situations of being in the PD. I would never have lunch with that man.
No.
I'd never invite him back to my house.
Yeah, trust me, I get it. Like with the positions that he holds as deputy mayor, I have had to be civil to him, and I can be. But in no way does that mean that I like him.
That's all.
But what he did and the things that he continues to do are disgusting, and he should be held accountable.
I'm going to reiterate it. I believe you're preaching to a choir.
Yeah.
Listen,
He's dangerous.
I'm gonna be straight up.
Oh, here comes
This
High
is the
Barrack.
same thing that I've told everybody else. It is the same reason I even went across the coast to begin with. Flop, do you trust the person that is above you?
When you say trust, you mean like everything, like all my trust?
Yeah. Do you trust
No.
Tessa to have
Oh,
the
well, well, yeah, for
but to have
Who's above you?
to
Tessa
have the
is above
right
you.
intentions and to make the right decisions?
yes, I believe Tessa does.
Okay. Then
I'm very
you should
picky.
you should have faith that she will, make sure the proper concerns are being heard, make sure the proper decisions are being made. Because that was my thought process when it came to this war. I thought to myself, like, I don't have all the information on this, but I'm going to think about somebody who does. in that case being Stubble, and he is somebody that I trust fully in this police department. I can't say that for very many people.
Mhm.
And since he was going, I was like, okay, that's enough for me.
I don't think Flop's gonna say, but on Flop's mind right now, he's thinking, you know, a man who
You
walks
know,
into a smoke
people
field
wanna,
does not have a sense of
how
direction.
things got done were not ideal. How we got from point A to point B to point C was not ideal. But the borderline, just the full-on conclusion, regardless of who did this, who did that, who did this, that, and the other, we are in a safer place and city today than we were the morning of that battle.
I don't
Do you
think.
honestly think that?
Yes.
Because I wasn't hunted before the war.
Maybe each individual person is not, but we as a people,
I get what you're
as
saying.
the entire city,
I get
more
what you're
safe.
saying. I hear you. I'm sorry. Let's be a smartass.
But as far as to the process of people being brought to justice, I don't know. Do I think people should serve for the decisions that they made? Yes.
Yep.
I'm so hungry. God damn it.
But I think that the people,
And this circles back to my question. And I know you said, as you feel about Brian, as a lot of people do, but it still did not answer my question.
what was the question again?
How do you recover from this kind of situation?
By not giving up, by not quitting and walking away.
But that's half the PD that are just quitting and walking away. So how do you stop them?
You know, honestly, if I could sit down with everybody that walked away, I'll fucking tell them flat out that I respect your reason to leave. It is objectively speaking, the wrong answer. And what I told Ed on the phone, Barrick, is what I'll tell you. If every single one of us walked out to have a stance, the Senate would step in, and 30 people that have been on a waiting list to get into the PD would join, and you would have 30 compliant people. What's up?
He's a dictator.
Okay. Well, respectfully,
True.
the official title is senator. The Senate would step in, and you would have 30 compliant people that listen to the Senate, and then we would be right back where history repeats itself, because no one actually took a stance on the Senate. You would just have a bunch of us that would be overlooked and moved on from.
Actually, it might be an oligarchy or something like that. I don't know.
That's when the rich control everything.
Yeah, but I thought there was more than one. And anyway, I agree with you.
So people ask me why I haven't left. That is actually why I haven't left. Is because my position is beyond replaceable, but my experience is not. They're gonna throw some Joe Schmo in the mix, and you're gonna be left with somebody who doesn't have any past history in this PD and doesn't have anything to compare it to. If I'm going based on being fired.
I don't know. Yeah, I really wish Toretti didn't leave.
I really wish he hadn't either, because he was actually, even though he had his moments, he was, when it came down to it, incredibly capable and logical and moral. And the fact that he was on the same level.
He was the most sane person of the three original department heads.
He was the only person that could combat Axel.
Gamer Mom, thank you for the 22 months.
And he's just walked away.
Sunshining
and
an
made
island
it
for the first
so
time
much more
since May on
difficult
my
for
deck,
everybody
eating
who's
Cinnabon
who
and
he
drinking
left
coffee.
behind
I am
at work.
so
Sorry.
jealous of you right now. Cinnabon and coffee in the morning sounds like a dream.
And if people continue to leave, then everything is just going to devolve into chaos. And just like Flop said, is they'll just be replaced by yes men.
I think there's a way to make a stance and leave the PD. But if you're gonna make your stance, you better do it going down fighting.
No, you can't leave.
I'm not. No.
Nobody
No. No.
can
No. No.
leave.
No. 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 There is a fine line there. Toretti left and made his stance verbally after the fact. If he were to make his stance and fight for it with every bit and then got fired, way more of an impact. To leave willingly and say that this is my stance. If I'm leaving this PD, it's because I got fired for, you know, standing for what I fucking believe in. I'm not leaving on my own intention. Fuck that.
I don't know. If we want to get away from the Senate, I do think there's a way, but there's
Can we get a bunch of hearts in chat, please, for Gamer Mom?
Thank
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Sorry that I'm so quiet right now and not talking to chat at all. And it's all fucking meetings, but I hope you're all enjoying
There
it.
are other ways that there have to be that won't leave everybody else vulnerable and at the mercy of madmen, literal madmen. I don't know. This whole thing is, it's too much.
There's ways to make it better. We just haven't done it yet. I don't know why. So
That's why I haven't
And
left my
if
house
you could
in a
change
fucking
one
week.
thing right now, what are you gonna do?
me personally,
Yeah,
not a goddamn thing. There's nothing I can do.
that's what
So-
I'm saying. That's why I said if you could change one thing right now, what are you gonna do?
Make an
Or if one
official
of the things you have in your mind, if you-
PR statement. It could be literally a sentence. It would shut so many people up. Holy shit. I've never once in my career felt like a fucking pimple in this PD. But when you have civilians, criminals, and even people in the PD pinching you, trying to get answers out of you, my God, what a tiring fucking time. If people were to just make a simple statement to say that things are being acknowledged, so many people would shut the fuck up.
Well, I don't know about all that. The problem is that
hello,
a lot of this is, I mean, the truth is an issue. The fact that the truth is actually just mind-blowingly fucked. I mean, even if a statement is made, it's just going to there has to be, how do I want to say this?
I'll tell you what's on my mind. Because this is truly how I feel. I feel like saying nothing is, in fact, a statement.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And I think that's what bothers me the most, is that it's very obvious what's going around. And people,
And I know that's what Richard was working on, was gathering all of the information so he could make that statement.
yeah, but you see, then you come to the crossroads of people don't care about that, and the longer you take, the worse things get.
I know, but
And that's where I was bringing up, you know, like before the storm, the whole, you know, conversation we were having with Bundy and Bison about, like, in their defense, you know, a couple of them were in ICU for a while, so they've been
exactly.
waiting to convene.
And
then Bundy
Libby and
bringing up-
Owen didn't go, so
And Bundy bringing up the very logical point of, okay, well, they're, you know, what, like a fifth of high command that's in the ICU, but there's still 4/5 of that remaining that have essentially, you know, air quotations, done nothing.
I mean, Tess has been overloaded with people, you know, conversations, just like Richard since he got out. Now Stubble's doing it too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just,
but people don't care about that.
I know they don't care, but they have to
They
understand.
don't, and they won't and they want people are bad at understanding things. I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
No, I know.
Like, it's
I know
just-
you're right.
These aren't. I'm trying to be as logical as possible in the things that the wider public will accept, which is very slim to little.
This is
They're
such
not
a
going
good.
to accept anything. I mean, regardless of what we say or when we say it, they're going to find something to
I'll tell you
throw
what
it
they
against.
will accept is if every government entity flips and turns on the Senate. They will accept that.
Oh,
If this entire island on both sides of the ball is against them, what are they going to do?
You would have. I mean, that would legitimately be the
Maybe
only
we'll
way
fi-
you overthrow the Senate. Is you
sorry.
got.
I feel like I'm gonna get sniped having this conversation. But you're not wrong. No, I mean,
You'd probably fight
'Cause-
another war then, and it would be the entire state of San Andreas against the military.
Oh God.
Jesus.
It'd be a fucking war in the streets, man.
Los Santos Civil War. Oh my God.
I don't know.
Hey, Fix, how are you?
I gotta move around. I gotta go do something. I'm.
I'm doing well. How can I help you?
You wanna go on patrol for a little bit?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just to clarify, I'm not saying we should do that. I'm just saying, objectively, that's probably the only way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That is the only logical answer to actually have enough numbers to overthrow the Senate.
Because then they would have no numbers.
Exactly. We're trying to convince everybody.
I'm not sure. So, there was an issue where the Senate had frozen the state account for a
Yeah, I
bit
don't know, dude.
because they were
don't know.
I don't know.
investigating some things. I do believe that freeze is over. I would have to check with me.
Eddie, give me a call in a little bit.
So,
I need to go to the courthouse, actually.
We'll talk soon.
bye guys.
Bye bye.
Love you.
Love you. I said it first, bitch.
Yeah, and it didn't leave me an opportunity to do so.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Do we have to go to City Hall?
Yeah, I gotta go to City Hall.
You like my plate?
Failure.
They wouldn't let me do F.
How the fuck did you get a personal charger?
Probably the last good deed Brian ever did.
He gave you a charger or something?
This was a Davis Charger. It had 14 miles on it.
Interesting.
What the fuck? Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Yeah, I might be a little bit. I gotta talk to Judge Gates about some shit.
All good. You want me there?
Sure. If you want.
What's it about?
I'm organizing a mock court session for all the solo cadets in the PBSO for shift 3,
Nice.
so that they can get their sign off for court etiquette and stuff like that.
My court etiquette sucks.
Yeah?
Yeah, if that was still like a thing for certs, I'd fail.
I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way.
Actually, Barrick, I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
I gotta move around. I can't be in another meeting right now. I am big chilling at the moment. What's up, dudes? It's probably the first day Flop is actually like pissed off. That's good. Angry Flop is pretty dope.
Also, if it does turn into a footbed.
Damn, dog. Maybe TJ was right. Maybe the BBMC is for us. What's up, streamer? What's up? How we doing? The ADHD kicking in. I gotta go like up north or some shit. I just gotta fucking move around. Ugh. Hi, chat. I appreciate you guys being here. He shouldn't be investigating Brian. Honestly, Robert, the amount of confliction RP, I don't know. That would be like the Senate shouldn't have gotten involved with the war because they wrote the laws. You know what I mean? Reality is that Richard being on the high command panel is completely valid. And let's be fucking honest for a second. Medi is an amazing role player and has no problems with it. So another one of those like points of concern thing is like null and void. If there was an issue with it, it would have been changed, but I don't know. I feel like there's no argument with this. I feel like the only people complaining are the viewers in that regard. I feel like the actual role players have no issues with that. You know what I'm saying? Isn't Flops at BBMC though? Yeah. The RP's pretty solid. Yeah, like I don't think anyone's complaining about Dark having any involvement with Brian's investigation. Granted, Flop doesn't know any of this in character. He only found out today that Brian's actually suspended, which made sense as to why the Senate took over MCU. So he sounds pretty insane now. I mean, didn't Norman take his fucking sanity? I mean, to be fair, what gang do we think Brian's joining? I just don't think he should have done the questioning. But like said, Robert, I don't think anyone necessarily is faulting Dark for doing that. And I think that that's like, I don't know. Lang, God. Oh, God. Nah, Brian's gonna have a cool path. How do we feel? Now, obviously, OOC, I know. In character, I don't. Do we think Brian's gonna get fired later? Truthfully speaking, I think Brian's job will most definitely be on the line. As for reasons to fire, I don't know. The RP, if he gets fired, would be really good. But to be completely fucking honest, I think Brian not getting fired would be even spicier. I hope he doesn't. Low key, I hope he doesn't. Flop is very upset with Brian. I mean, let's break down Flop's relation with Brian real quick. You know what I just realized? Where's Barrick? Oh yeah, that's right. I left him at the courthouse. Oh my God. No, Robin, I'm not saying you're trash talking. I'm just making the implement that or the implement that I think Dark being the one to actually investigate and question Brian is so on par
Make it add
based on
water,
their
yeah,
character
water.
history. I actually think that anyone else to do it would make no sense. I really feel like it's super cliche that Dark is the one doing the questioning on Brian. And the suspending, and you know, I listen, Flop's past with Brian. Flop and Brian never saw eye to eye. Flop lost his memory because of Norman Bones. The only thing Flop knows is that Brian Knight killed his brother. Flop only knows that Brian killed his brother. Didn't
Anybody
like.
hear Mr. Rowe on radio? I think whoever just spoke on radio, you cut it.
Hi, Barrick.
I need a ride.
I'm in Sandy. I'm on the way.
Hey, you're gonna be too late. I'll be in Mr. Rowe by then.
No. Oh wait, you have a bike. Actually, you're right.
On channel 1, I guess they're chasing a plane, so I'm going to get a jet.
Oh. Yeah, Flop and Brian never saw eye to eye. And honestly, Flop respects Brian from as a cop, but as an individual, Flop fucking hates the shit out of Brian, right? So Flop will be cordial, laugh, have a good time, and talk and like ride with Brian, no problems. But he, like, as Flop said, he would invite him to his house for lunch. So much information on what is going on never seems to get passed over to Shift 3. Midrock, do you want the honest answer to that? Shift 3 is always missing out on the other stuff going on in all the other shifts. The just for context, no one, and I mean nobody that is strictly Shift 3, coming from the guy that is Shift 2 or like late Shift 2 into Shift 3, had any involvement in the Sanguine RP for 3 months. And I said this to my chat the other day, but if they were to set the time of the event for the Sanguine War at 5 o'clock in the morning instead of 5 o'clock in the afternoon, everyone in Shift 3 would have not gone, and you would have just had a bunch of people waking up for the war at 5 o'clock in the morning from other shifts. Shift 3 had no involvement, and even when trying to be convinced to, we had no say in the roleplay up to that point. So a lot of our reasons, character-wise, to go to war were null and void and invalid. So I think what a lot of people got was the surprise Pikachu face at like the lack of care for Shift 3, but it's because a lot of us didn't get the information, and then in a time of need to ask for the answers as to why we were fighting and being told, just trust me, bro, don't worry about it, grab a gun, go to war. Yeah, Shift 3 is not accustomed to, you know, the lack of information. So yeah, Midrock, I mean, you see it. There's a reason why Flop is sick and fucking tired. You know what I mean? 100%. Nothing to do with the war, but you're still expected to answer what is going on. You have no clue how to answer it. The only thing Flop is feeling is demoralized and pissed off that he can't answer questions, and there's nothing to answer for anyone because sergeants were not informed, and there's 4 sergeants in the PD who weren't even informed of the negotiations prior. So there's a lot of like frustration around how things were like, for lack of a better term, handled. So yeah, Flop is speaking out very negatively about the PD and the Senate right now, but at the same time, you know, in a possible circumstance, Flop really believes that if High Command were to simply just come out and say, And you know, Flop understands Edda's point, but respectfully, majorly disagree.